We're talking spoiler free about Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Leading up to this is part two of the Dead Reckoning. Dead Reckoning was the last movie, came out. It's about AI is the villain, and Gabriel is its human avatar, if you will. I love the Mission Impossible movies. Some are better than others, of course. I really liked Dead Reckoning. It's fun, introduces Haley Atwell into the universe and Palm Clementif. Isai Morales as Gabriel. He's back in the series, and more threatening than ever. And introduces new characters. One's, Simon Pegg is back as Benji. Luther is back, played by Ving Rhames. A great cast is back. And it is the conclusion to the story in Dead Reckoning. Leading up to this, I rewatched Dead Reckoning. Loads of fun. It's even better than I remember it. And then I went down a rabbit hole and watched a bunch of the other Mission Impossible movies, which was a lot of fun as well. I don't think Dead Reckoning was, among my favorite, but a lot of them are great. Rogue Nation, a Ghost Protocol. They're good. Tom Cruise knows how to entertain, and Dead Reckoning had that great chase sequence in Italy with the tiny car, that scene at the airport where things go haywire, like really good set pieces, really amazing set pieces. So I really like Dead Reckoning and was hoping for a really great conclusion to that story. So let me tell you my opinion.
Okay.
The action in this movie and there are two major action sequences. You kind of know what they are. There's the one, because they've both been in the trailers, the plane sequence, which how Tom Cruise did not die during the making of that sequence is insane. I'm sure he was secured by wires and there was safety involved, but holy hell, that scene, edge, like white knuckle, crazy edge of your seat. The scene, obviously, they have to return to the submarine to get the hard drive, to get the
source code for the entity.
The source code, blah, 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 blah. Who cares? It's a mission. That scene is intense. But what really slows this movie down with a 2-hour, 50-minute running time is that it feels like the last Mission Impossible movie starring Tom Hanks. They are saying, in effect, their goodbyes. And they use a lot of footage in a clever way. There are things that pay off from earlier Mission Impossible movies, including a character from the first movie will pay off in this movie, presumably the last of the Tom Cruise MI films. So I thought that was clever, but at times they repurpose a lot of old footage in montage, kind of going through Ethan Hunt's memories, and it feels like they're putting together a greatest hits of the Mission Impossible films.
By the way, the chat is blowing up here. Did you mean to say Tom Hanks or did you mean to say Tom Cruise?
Oh, Tom Cruise.
Okay.
Sorry, did I say Tom Hanks? I apologize.
I thought you were making a point by saying Tom Hanks and not Tom Cruise.
69.
Obviously, I misspoke, and my apologies, folks. Thank you for the correction. Thank you, chat. Keeps me honest. So Tom Cruise, yes. Yeah, so look, this movie definitely drags. It's not as good as Dead Reckoning. It feels like the way that they ended things. Again, no spoilers. The way they ended things, and they could make another one. They very well could make another Mission Impossible film. But it feels like this is closing the chapter on the Tom Cruise led Ethan Hunt Mission Impossible films. but featuring 2 action sequences that are among the best in the series.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the submarine heist, and it's a single heist, Ethan Hunt alone.
Yeah. It's a
is
lone mission, and
lone mission. It is it
it's
feels
anxiety producing.
anxiety producing. It's also claustrophobic. I mean, and when you know what's happening, I won't say, like, that sequence, and there's no dialogue. It's silent, not completely silent. There's no sound, no dialogue, but wow, that scene alone. In fact, look, I don't know what. So my review is mixed. I am gonna give it a recommend in the end, but just lower your expectations. Not as good as chapter 1. Chapter 2 is really a finale, and
The
what I
series
think
finale, yeah.
serious finale, it lacks the humor of Dead Reckoning. Dead Reckoning had a lot of humor, and it's humor that's right for the MI universe. The humor was lacking in this, although
Yeah, it's much more about saying goodbye than it is about,
right.
it's definitely the conclusion of the series.
Yes, and
And it has that tone.
it's overly sentimental. I will say this: Tremel Tillman plays the submarine captain in it with a mustache. He's like barely does anything. He's a great new character. Just he has a lot of personality in a small role. Let's say that on the sub. He's just, I don't know why he got laughs. Is it something? Do I not know something about him?
I don't know.
Yeah, but he was great. So, and Palm Clementon, now she's on the Clemency. She's on the team now, speaking French throughout, and she's a great addition to the team. Really great. So, again, I'm mixed on my opinion, and I plan to see it again.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if my opinion changes. It can sometimes, but ultimately disappointing, and I still loved the action, but it drags. So, Alan, what did you think?
Yeah. So first of all, I should mention the turn of Palm's character happens in the first act. So it happens early on. I think
They set that up in Dead Reckoning. They set it up very well.
Yeah, but the actual turn.
She was betrayed.
Yeah, I like this movie, and I'll say it's good, not great. I think it's a good conclusion to the series. I won't tell you what happens, but this is a very different movie, and I think you spoke about it tone wise. It just felt like this is the last one, so we're going to be heartfelt versus having a lot of humor in it. There are 3 major scenes. The first one is in the tunnel. You say claustrophobic. The action in this movie throughout felt claustrophobic.
Yes, I agree.
For example, the first major scene takes place in the tunnel. Second major action is both in a submarine and in a cabin. And then the third one is in a small airplane. That is the major action. It is exciting. It is on the edge of your seat. The submarine scene, as you say, is anxiety inducing. Not only that, it is anxiety inducing the first 10 minutes leading up to the actual mission. Then it's during the very long mission, and then it's anxiety inducing at the end of the mission. It is a long sequence, and it is just one of those, how they say, okay, Ethan, it's real simple. Here's what you have to do. And then they'll show you Ethan doing all those things, and oh, none of that's going to happen.
Yeah, and it doesn't go as planned.
Right. Everything goes wrong. And believe me, in this submarine that takes place way too far down deep, everything goes wrong. Everything that can go wrong does go wrong. And not only that, he has to then get from that submarine back to the surface, dealing with all the bends and all that stuff. I will say this, one of the great things about this movie is Haley Atwell.
Yes.
She is downright gorgeous. There's an entire fight scene that takes place by just looking at her face watching the fight scene. And it is brilliant. She again, for a movie like this, it's always nice to have something beautiful to look at, and that's Haley Atwell. And so look, you kind of, to me, it sounds like you're down on the movie. I'm not down on the movie. It's very different. It's not. You kind of wish it ended on a crescendo, but it doesn't. It ends a step or two down from the last movie. And if you go with that, you're gonna have a good time. But it's a, it ends a lot better than James Bond did.
Yes, for sure. I'll just say that, but also I'm just trying to manage expectations.
Yeah,
about.
But you don't want to
film.
say it's bad. It's not bad.
I didn't say it was bad.
Right.
I'm saying it drags, and I'm saying it lacks the humor of Dead Reckoning, which had a lot of humor that was balanced. In this, the humor it's kind of humorless one, and it just doesn't really match that movie. If you watched both movies back to back as one movie, as one story, they don't mesh.
Yeah. And then the other thing, the main story is that the entity is getting control of all the nuclear weapons from the major nuclear countries, and of course the US is the last one it tries to take over, and there's a lot of politics there. I guess Angela Bassett is the de facto president of the United States from now on. She'll appear in anything as the president or as some kind of a leader. I was kind of, at the beginning, I'm like, oh, here we go. And by the end, the ending moments of it were really intriguing. We're really suspenseful. And I love that in the political thriller aspect of this movie.
I will say, it's slow in the beginning, which I didn't expect, but it does stick the landing.
Yeah.
The third act is insane over the top. The third act.
Yeah.
So that redeemed it for me in the third act. It's like, oh, okay.
So. Yeah, and then the return of a particular character from the first movie, I sort of lost my shit on that one. That was pretty awesome.
I thought it was so,
I thought it was great.
Yeah, they even show you footage from the first.
Yeah, don't say much more than that. Let people experience a
character returns you would never expect.
Yeah.
That is, and it's really well done.
Yeah. And pays off.
It's like, and other events from other previous MI films play into this.
Yeah, they don't connect all the movies, but they connect a lot of movies along the way.
Yeah, it really is. And it does feel like, especially the final scene in the film, it's like we're good. We're good. We're saying goodbye. So look, I recommend it. It's not, I give it a 7 out of 10, but I'm saying go in with lower expectations. It doesn't match Dead Reckoning. I'll just say that.
Oh, you guys got it right. It's Tom Hanks. That's who appears from the first film.